We were 30 days away from our dream destination wedding when my fiancé sat me down and asked for an open relationship. Not forever, not even long term, just for the weekend. This was supposed to be the happiest month of our lives. Plane tickets were booked. The resort in Cancun was paid in full. 63 guests had already requested time off work. My parents had never even left the country before. We had a shared wedding countdown on our phones. 29 days, 28 days. And then, on a random Tuesday night, sitting across from me on our couch, she folded her hands like she was about to deliver bad news from a doctor. She said, "I need to talk to you about something, but I need you to promise you won't freak out." That's when she said the words that detonated everything. "I think, before we get married, I want us to try an open relationship." In that moment, I didn't realize she wasn't asking for permission. She was asking for forgiveness. Part 2, the perfect life. Up until that night, I thought I was living a perfect love story. We'd been together 4 years. We met at a mutual friend's game night. I spilled beer on her shoes. She laughed instead of getting mad. That was it. I was done for. By year 2, we had a tiny apartment with terrible plumbing and a dog we rescued together, a golden mix named Milo, who slept between us every night like a furry referee. By year 3, we were talking marriage without fear. Real talk, budgets, guest lists, kids' names scribbled jokingly on napkins. I proposed on a hiking trail at sunrise. She cried so hard she forgot to say yes at first. She posted the ring everywhere. Forever starts now. And I believed her. She was my person, the one I trusted completely, the one I planned to grow old with. That's why what came next felt less like heartbreak and more like a crime scene. Part 3, the red flags. Looking back, the signs were there. I just didn't know how to read them yet. About 2 months before the wedding, she started hanging out more with a group of friends I barely knew. She called them the single squad. They were loud, confident, chronically online. Every time they came over, the conversation turned into, marriage is a trap. Monogamy is outdated. Sexual freedom is empowerment. At first, I laughed it off. Then, my fiancée started changing. She stopped posting about the wedding. She started guarding her phone like it held state secrets. She'd sit next to me on the couch, scrolling, smiling at messages she wouldn't share. She began going out more, girls' nights that ended at 2 a.m. When I asked if something was wrong, she'd say, "I'm just stressed. Weddings do that." I believed her, because trust makes you blind. Part 4, the confrontation. The night she finally brought it up, she didn't yell, she didn't cry, she sounded rehearsed. She said, "I've been doing a lot of thinking about marriage, and I don't want us to lose ourselves." I asked what that meant. She took a breath and said, "Open relationships can actually make couples stronger. It's about honesty, about growth." I laughed. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. She said, "I don't want to cheat. I want to be ethical. I just think, before we commit forever, we should experience freedom." My heart started pounding. My ears were ringing. I asked quietly, "Is there someone specific?" She hesitated, just for half a second. And in that pause, something inside me snapped into clarity. She said, "No, not really. It's just if the opportunity came up." That's when the realization hit me like ice water. This wasn't a theory. This was logistics. She wasn't asking about our future. She was trying to rewrite the past. Part 5, the 48-hour investigation. That night, I told her I needed time to think. She went to bed. I didn't sleep. Instead, I became someone I never thought I'd be. I checked dates, trips she'd taken with friends, text timestamps that didn't match her stories. And then, I found it. A message thread she forgot to delete. Not explicit, not graphic, just enough. Inside jokes, references to a weekend away. Can't wait to see you again. The dates lined up perfectly with a girl's trip she swore was innocent. She hadn't wanted freedom. She wanted retroactive permission. By morning, I wasn't angry anymore. I was calm, and that scared me. Part 6, the execution. 48 hours later, everything was over. I canceled the venue, the flights, the resort. I emailed both families with a simple message. "The wedding has been called off. Please respect our privacy." When she came home, I handed her a printed receipt of the cancellations. She went pale. She cried. She begged. She said it was a mistake. I said, "An open relationship requires trust. You broke that before you ever asked." She moved out that weekend. Milo stayed with me. The guests got refunds. The ring went back into its box. And somehow, despite everything, I felt lighter. Not because it didn't hurt, but because I chose myself. Part 7, the outro. So here's the question. Was he too harsh for canceling everything without trying to work it out? Or did she get exactly what she deserved for turning a wedding into a cover-up? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm reading every single one.